everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you a recipe that I've had before in a restaurant, but I've never made here at home and I really want to try that. It's a very popular dish in Southeast Asia and it originates in China, but most of the Southeast Asian countries have their own little version of this dish. What is it? It's braised pork belly. More specifically, braised pork belly bao. Now, what's bao? Bao is a steamed dough or bread, and there are two great things about bao. One is it's moist, it's light and fluffy and pillowy, and the second, which is going to sound really strange, it doesn't have a lot of flavor, which is actually perfect because it pairs with almost anything you want to put in it. Now, for today's tutorial, I'm not going to be making the bao from scratch for time reasons, and also because you can just go to your local Asian market and pick up pre-made frozen bao, and it's just as good as making it from scratch at home. So we're going to just be focusing on pork belly today and our toppings at the end. So, enough talking. Let's get cooking. So here's what we need to braise our pork belly. We're using light soy sauce and dark soy sauce, shaoxing cooking wine, brown sugar, some scallions, ginger, approximately 2 cups of water, and this guy, pork belly. And this is 3/4 pound of pork belly. And I have a nice piece here. It's a good mix of meat and fat, which you're going to want. It keeps it moist and yummy. So we're gonna cut this guy up into little pieces and get him cooking in the pan. We're gonna be cutting this in about 1/4 inch slices. Perfect. Now let's quickly sear off our pork belly to get a little bit of color and crispiness on it. I put my heat up to about medium, and we're just going to use about a teaspoon of cooking oil. There's plenty of fat in the pork, so you don't really need that much. So just a teaspoon of oil. Okay, I believe that's hot enough, so we're just going to add our pieces. And we just want to quickly brown this. We're not cooking it all the way through. We just want to get a little color on the pork. This has been cooking for about 2 minutes, so we're just going to turn it over. And we'll let this go about another minute or 2. Okay, this is browned enough. We're just going to shut this off, let it sit a minute, and now we're going to work on our scallions and ginger and seasonings. Now we're just going to roughly chop up some scallions. We're going to take the roots off and then just in a couple of big pieces, move those to the side. And we're going to use a chunk of ginger that we're going to peel. The recipe says 2 inches. So I guess this looks about 2 inches to me. So with the back of a spoon, like this, peeling ginger is really easy. The skin just scrapes right off. Let's just move this out of the way. And then I'm just going to cut a couple of chunks out of this. And this is all ready to go in our pot. Now we're going to add our brown sugar to the pork. So we're going to turn the heat back on our pork chunks. And then we're going to bring this back up to temperature. So our pork is back up to temperature. So we'll add our 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. And we're just going to mix this in until the sugar starts to dissolve and coats the pork. Now we're going to add approximately 2 cups of water, or enough water to cover all the pork. Next, we're going to add our scallions and ginger slices. Now let's add our soy sauce and shaoxing wine. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce or regular soy sauce. And then we need 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. Look how thick. And now we're going to add 3 tablespoons of shaoxing wine, cooking wine. So something I forgot to mention when I was giving you the list of ingredients earlier was Chinese 5-spice. Hope that's coming in. And it's exactly that. It's 5 spices. It's cinnamon, star anise, fennel, ginger, cloves, white pepper, and licorice root. And we're going to be adding about a 1/4 teaspoon to our braising liquid. Now let's add our Chinese 5-spice. And if you've ever had barbecue Chinese spare ribs, this is the flavor that's in that. So we're just going to add a 1/4 teaspoon. Now let's lower the heat a little to simmer. We're going to cover. This is going to cook for about 45 minutes. Then we're going to come back, take the lid off, and reduce the sauce. While we're waiting for our pork to cook on the stove for the next 45 minutes, we're going to move on to the next step, and that's the bao. This is a bag of frozen bao. And this is a frozen bao. Okay, and all we're going to do is take a large stock pot. We're going to put about 2 or 3 inches of water at the bottom of the pot, and then we're going to use a Chinese steamer basket, which is this. That's the lid. Comes with 2 layers. It has like little holes on each level to let the steam through. We're just going to quickly spray it with some cooking spray, and then with a paper towel just quickly wipe it off. And that's to help prevent the bao from sticking to the steamer basket. So let's do that. Get the pot on the stove and bring it up to a boil for our steam. Now we're going to put our pot of water with the steamer basket on it on the stove. And we're just going to put it on medium. We're in no rush to bring it up to a boil for steam because we're still waiting on the pork, but we're just going to get this ready. So it's been 45 minutes. We'll take the lid off. And we're going to just raise the heat a little and bring it up to a little bit more of a rapid boil because we're going to reduce down the sauce to kind of like a glaze. So this is going to probably take another 10 to 15 minutes, but keep an eye on it. There's brown sugar in the sauce, and if you're not paying attention and it reduces down quickly, it could scorch and burn. So don't go too far. Okay, so 15 minutes have passed, and when I move the pork around, you can start to see the bottom of the pan, and the sauce is thick enough. So we're going to shut that off. We're just going to set this aside quick and put our bao in the steamer to heat up. The water is boiling in our stock pot, so we're going to carefully lift the lid off of our steamer basket. And then we're going to add our bao. Be careful, guys, of the steam. Probably should be using tongs, so let me do that. Don't crowd the steamer basket or they'll stick together. I'm actually going to do 2 layers. So let me take that off. And let me place another layer of the bao. Now we'll put the top layer and lid back on and wait 10 minutes for it to be done. It's been 10 minutes. Let's lift our lid, take a peek. Oh yeah, they're ready. Here we have it, guys. Our steamed bao, our beautiful bowl of braised pork belly, and these are some of the toppings that I'm going to be putting on my bao. I have some Boston lettuce leaves, but you can use Bib or red leaf or romaine, whatever you like. I have some thinly sliced cucumber, some shreds of carrot, some radish chips, a little bit of cilantro, and some hoisin sauce. So let's assemble. Okay. Ooh, hot, fluffy, pillowy. Open it up. I'm gonna put 1 lettuce leaf, a beautiful piece of our pork, a cucumber chip, some shredded carrot. I think I'm going to do a little bit of cilantro and just a teeny spoonful of hoisin. Now let's taste it. Oh, look at that. All right. Yay. The pork's really tender. It has a sweetness to it. The skin and the fat have just melted. It just melts in your mouth. The crunch from the vegetables, it's just really, really good. Now, I have my frosty mug. And this is a beer by Wicked Weed Brewing. It's a passion lychee burst sour session. Something different. I was looking for Qingdao, which is a Chinese beer, but believe it or not, everybody was out of it. So I found this little gem. Lychee is like hugely popular in China. Okay, let's have a sip. Ooh, that's frosty. I hope you guys try this. I really enjoyed it. Thanks for joining me, guys. Bye.